Hello, virtual audience, followers of Kid at Heart, LinkedIn, Facebook, diverse marketing, diverse insights. I'm super excited today. I have a friend in the interview with me in the happiest half hour, somebody who works for a company that I've been a part of for over a decade now. I sold them to them as a retailer, and we continue to do that, or rather an e-tailer. And then we have been doing incredible business with the wholesale line. Dan from Fat Brain Toys, welcome to the Triple H, man. What's up?
How are you, man? I'm so happy to be here. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate the designation of friend. And I feel the same way about you, man. It's an honor.
You're one of those people that anytime I walk into a trade show and I see you, I get happier. I know positive energy is being created.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I feed off the people, though. I can't say that's me.
You do, man. Well, I have a few questions for you. Like I said, Fat Brain Toys is one of the most unique brands in the specialty toy arena, and they're one of our fastest growing brands as a company. Dan, can you help define the Fat Brain difference, the unique DNA of your brand, and how you approach product design?
You know, I think we approach it from a very, holistic standpoint in the sense that we want to create fun. That's the denominator of everything we do. Is it has to be fun. It has to be educational. It has to be simple. But it's us trying to find that next kind of classic toy. I think that our generation, we can all name, that one or two toys that we grew up with. And I think really my goal is that at some point, somebody's 25, 35 years old and they're like, hey, remember when we used to play with that Fat Brain toy, the spin again? And it's like, I want that to be something that kids remember when they're adults.
That's amazing. I think you're talking about legacy, and it's the first time that's been talked about on the show. I think that's a really high goal. I love it. I love it, man.
I appreciate precisely putting my thought into a legitimate term, but I mean, really it is legacy. And we see it, just throughout the company. We're seeing it develop already with Adam, who is he's our lead designer and a member of the Carson family. And to talk about legacy, he just had a baby. And I was talking with him the other day. I said, man, 15 years ago, I mean, he was a kid. We were all kids, who knows? 15 years ago, he was working in the warehouse with his parents here, and he just had a daughter. I said, in 15 years, man, think about the seat you're sitting in, and your daughter is going to be in the warehouse packing boxes. And it's like, that's what we all do, and we love it, man. It's a legacy internally, and so we hope it's a legacy externally as well.
Amazing. That's definitely a difference in the toy industry. I mean, look, our business is a little bit, nepotism is kind of a fun word that gets thrown around, but here you guys are affecting a generation and in business and in actual play. So I want to come back to this strategic advantage that Fat Brain has. I mentioned you started as an e-tailer and have become the best in class in specialty online marketing to the consumer. What wholesale strategies, though, are you guys creating that are capitalizing on the real-time insights that you get from your e-com business?
Great question, man. Okay, so we live in a very dynamic business in the sense that you're right. We started as e-commerce, e-tail business. And we eventually grew to wholesale and started supplying to our own e-commerce. So we have our finger kind of on the pulse of the e-commerce industry because we have customers constantly giving us feedback directly. So we, from a manufacturer and a wholesaler, are hearing from our end users what's important to them in our final product. So we don't have to have a message carried from one person to another to finally hit our design team. We get it straight from the source.
I think it's huge. I mean, you're getting real-time feedback, but I also think you're gaining what's missing in the marketplace. Like, I don't know the term, but it's like a null zero result. Like you have enough consumers that are searching your website, you almost know what they can't find. And then maybe you go into it, Dan,
Maybe you're getting some secret sauce.
Dan, how did you get into the toy business yourself, my friend?
Man, it's been a crooked path. It's been a winding journey. I actually started in retail banking, and I did well there, and
Wow.
I ended up becoming a branch manager, and I was really good at sales. And I love sales because for me, it's not selling; it's having a conversation, and helping people see just a different perspective of why they might need something. The
Yep.
downside of the bank was that I mean, not going home fulfilled at the end of the day. Whereas I go home at the end of a trade show and I've made sales all day long, but all it was conversation with people that I enjoy talking to anyway. So it's almost like Fat Brain found me. I just followed my heart, and I found a company that I sat down on at an interview with, with the foremost, important people in our company from my perspective in terms of vision. And they all had four different visions that kind of unified at the bottom. And that's when I walked out. I said, I got to be here. I'll do anything to be a part of this. I knew it was something special.
So Dan, I too have noticed something special about the way you converse and work or do sales at these trade shows. One thing I've always enjoyed about your pitch is how you balance your anecdotal experience of your kids loving the toys and the marketplace being ready for newness. Dan, is it okay for me to ask, can you pitch some of your favorite Fat Brain Toys items? Or maybe someone that you have just around?
I'm so happy you asked. And I do have some around. Ones that I think I'm drawn to are the most basic. You think about what is the market ready for when it comes to like innovation or newness, and you think about those who have kids, how often you're in the bathtub and they're pouring tea and making lemonade, and you have your kitchen cups all alongside your bathtub. So what we did is we made bathtub cups. They're just suction cups, but it's made out of silicone. And the crazy thing about this is it found its way back into the kitchen because it's food grade silicone. And the thing I love about trade shows is learning about the off-label use of these things.
Absolutely.
I'm a big supporter of Brixie, and they do a lot in the baby gear world. And so the one thing that everybody was telling me is they use these on their high chairs. You just stick them on high cherry cups, strawberries, blueberries, and then you can throw them in the dishwasher to get them clean. And that's the stuff to me that's beautiful, is when we create a toy that has so many different uses. The off-label use becomes more used than the actual intention. And the customer is the one who drives kind of the play pattern. And it's not up to us to tell customers how to play with our stuff.
That's awesome, man. It's like your innovation got re-innovated because it was so good. That's any other toys that you have around?
I can't go without talking about Dimple.
Yeah, my favorite.
This one is it's one of those where you put it in somebody's hands and like, well, what does it do? I mean, why is it fun? And then they're like, oh, okay, all right. But this was one that I was part of a ride for. It was one that had caught us off guard in terms of its popularity. And it was such a fun kind of like, oh boy, here it comes. Like, this is a product that's going to take off, and it really has. And it's bred, a whole family of Dimple now. And it's really fun. It's just something that it's innovative. It's beautiful. It's simplistic. It's open-ended, and it's ageless.
Dan, is there any data that you can share with our listeners? I mean, I don't want to ask how many pieces you've sold a year, but if I can, or where does it rank amongst all your items? How good is this item?
It was selling 4-1 over our previous best-selling item at its hottest moment. It's something that if we have other products that follow, our growth curve is going to move exponentially quick.
Incredible. Simplicity, but a magical item. And for any retailers that are placing a Fat Brain reorder, it's the first item on there.
Yeah, it really is.
Fat Brain Toys was always a huge sponsor of the Astra show. Can you tell us about that and why you guys chose to invest in that manner?
Yeah, Astra for us, it's our heart, it's what beats the blood through our body. We wouldn't be a whole company without any one of our parts, but without Astra and its members. I mean, the American Specialty Toy Retailers Association is who we are as a company at heart. We are a specialty toy store, and we always want to stay rooted into that small Nebraska company that is this here to work with you, that's here to work for you, instead of, the company that expects our partners to jump through hoops.
Dan, you seem like a huge kid at heart, and I resonate with that little statement. Maybe that's why you and I get along. What advice do you have for people thinking about entering the business of play?
I think patience, it's a different kind of patience than any other work. It's patience in being able to see something through somebody else's eyes in a way that you can learn through observation in this field better than anything I've ever witnessed.
Wow. That's definitely a unique answer. Normally people, on the sales sides are kind of boisterous and think they know everything. It's unique to hear a salesman telling us that they listen. That's good, Dan. Dan, what about what about Dan the human being? What do people need to know about you, about where you come from, about where you live today? What's the best things that Dan knows outside of the toy biz?
Oh man, I think I know a lot about politics. My current hobby is pipe tobacco. I'm an old soul at heart, man. If I can sit on the porch with my wife at the end of the day and watch a rainstorm and smoke a pipe, it's like that's my peace. I've got two baby boys. I got a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they've put a light in my heart that did not exist, and I'm very thankful for the existence that I'm able to walk currently. I'm a very blessed person. I try to wake up every day and be thankful to my creator for, I just live a blessed life. I hear people complain, and it upsets me, man. There's a lot of struggle out there. There's a lot of struggle, and I wish that people weren't so down on themselves and down on the world, man.
I love that approach, brother. That hits home. Any last parting words before we finish the happy half hour on this beautiful day?
I want to shine a spotlight on our rep teams. They're the ones who, are the foot soldiers of our industry. I want to thank the people who are working in our warehouses. Like, I've watched the grind. I was in the warehouse for the last 8 weeks while we were short on staff packing boxes. And I have an appreciation for the people who really are, bleeding, sweating, and crying over what they're doing. It's people who love what they do that are going to pull us out on the other side of this coming out awesome.
I think you're just so positive that the last part of the show, where we create positive energy for the last 30 seconds, you've been doing that the entire 30 minutes. But if there's I would love for you to finish the show by thanking anybody that you want to, but also telling people where they can connect with you, where they can check out some of Fat Brain's best items, and if they want to carry the product, how do they do it best?
Awesome.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dan. The floor is yours.
Thank you, man. I can't leave without saying thank you to the specialty industry. They're our lifeblood. If you think about, Astra and who those companies are to us. Really the industry as a whole, our backbone are the mom and pop shops who are doing what they can right now to survive, honestly. And so we want to be a good partner to those people. And that's our perspective. That's what I want to end with saying is tell us how we can be a good partner, because the industry is not a top of the hill type of industry. It is a thriving ecosystem, and we've all got to be in it together. The competition, if there's any, it should all be friendly, because we will live, breathe, and die together if we get, carried away.
Awesome, man. Dan, I appreciate you very much. thank you so much. This is the Happy Half Hour. Thanks.
Man, I was very happy this half hour, man. Thank you.
See you, buddy.